Hey there, Scott Smith with the Smithy McKellar Williams. Wanted to share with you some insights that will hopefully you'll be able to find helpful when you are selling the home of a family member or a loved one that is maybe moving into assisted living or it is an estate situation. We've worked with many families over the years and many attorneys and help disposition I think the technical term of a property for someone that's either moving into an assisted living or they've maybe passed away. So, four things I want to share with you that will make this a lot easier as you kind of move through the process. The first thing I want to share with you is power of attorney. Working with a good attorney that can get you set up with having a power of attorney for that loved one, whether it's a single power of attorney or a dual power of attorney. We've encountered them all, but making sure that you've got that in place ahead of time. One thing that's really important to remember with that is power of attorney goes away upon death. So if you think, well, we've got our power of attorney, grandma passed away, we're going to be selling her home, that power of attorney has gone away. And I'll share with you on my third point what you need to make sure that that process goes a little bit easier and you can save some money with it too. So having a power of attorney that relates to the real estate certainly is very important. The second thing that we've encountered where people maybe will let us know that they actually have a will that's set up, and a will is different than having a trust. The will is actually more of a playbook, and this is kind of your wishes for what would give you or the loved one dispositioning their personal property. So it's really important to make sure that you have understanding of what you need and what you can and cannot do when it comes to that. The will is basically, like I said, the playbook. This gives the instructions for where things would go and how they would be settled. Things would be sold or gifted to certain family members or charities as they pass away. So the will is something that's important, but it is not the only important thing that you need, which brings me to my fourth point. When someone passes away, it's very important to have a good understanding of what you can or cannot do legally on behalf of the estate. A will is not going to help them with the estate. You actually would have to file through probate, and probate is a very expensive and lengthy process. Probate, if a property goes through the probate courts, it can take anywhere from 4, 6, or even 12 months sometimes to get the authority to actually sell the property. And think of what can happen during that time frame. If there's a mortgage on the property, that mortgage will need to be paid, property taxes, utilities, insurance, maintenance, not to mention that the real estate markets can actually change quite a bit. So it's important to make sure that you have not only the authority but be able to act on that quickly so it doesn't get caught up in the courts. And that probate process can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, if not more. So the way to work around that and avoid going through probate, no matter what size of your estate, if you own a piece of real estate, having a trust, a simple trust set up, might only cost you a couple $1,000. It will save you time. It'll save you money versus having to go through the court situation. So talk to a good attorney that will give you good insight and advice on having something like that set up. It's very important and will streamline the process for whoever is handling that estate. So I talked about a power of attorney. I talked about a will. I talked about probate versus trust. Make sure you talk to a good attorney and an accountant when it comes to making sure that you've got the right things in place for that. The fourth things I wanted to share with you is when it comes to some of that personal property, whether you're doing an estate sale or some of those personal effects are going to be gifted to family members. So we talk to our clients about a red, yellow, and green type of scenario, like a stop and go light. The red things, those are things that would maybe end up going to there's no value with them, so you have to clean out the house and it's going to be trash. Unfortunately, some of those family heirlooms, they might not have a lot of monetary value, but they do have some sentimental value. So make sure that you are being mindful of that. The next thing would be the yellow items, and those things would maybe be going to family members, or they would maybe going to a charity or through an estate sale. So as you're kind of organizing personal effects within the household, take a look at what would necessarily fall into those two different buckets. The last thing would be the green items, and if that family member is maybe moved into an assisted living situation, what things can they take with them? Maybe they've been in their house for a long time and they need to take the bed, the dresser, clothes, obviously those things to make them more comfortable as they transition from their one home to the next. So think of those things as you're kind of going through the process, the red, yellow, green, or green, yellow, and red, and kind of let it waterfall into each of those different buckets. We work with a lot of estates and helping seniors transition and family members navigate that process is something that we do on a regular basis. And when it comes time to helping you and your family navigate that, certainly reach out to us 651-777-3434. If you need a good attorney, we can certainly connect you with that. Figure out a way that you can reach out to us and we'd be happy to help you. It doesn't cost anything to have a phone call, and we can get you pointed in the right direction. Have a great weekend, and let us know how we can help you or your family when it comes to navigating the probate, estate, real estate scenario. Take care. Have a great day.